Been a rough few days. Last week, man. Been in the hospital 3 times. Back to the hospital. Boy, let me tell you something. If you don't got no health insurance, I encourage you to start working on that now. I wanted to send this message out sooner, but I've been laid up sick, and today is the 13th, and I believe you have until the 15th of January. They extended the deadline for the Obamacare health exchange. If you can get signed up before the 15th, I believe you can have coverage starting on the 1st of February, if I recall, if I'm correct. Double check that. But I believe but January 15th is the last day for registration. So if you don't have it, it's important because now, although theoretically the insurance that you get, you can use it for regular usage here in Mexico, but for emergencies, many of the insurance clauses have clauses in there that will cover you during an emergency. And in Mexico, they don't have to treat you if you don't have insurance or if you don't have money to pay or credit card to pay. They don't treat you. They can return you away. If they do treat you and you don't have the money, they hold you hostage, take your passport, confiscate it, keep you locked up in the hospital until you pay. And that is a real thing. And I'm just reminded by the severity of that because I was laid up. I've been laid up for the last week, and things can change overnight. Some things can be, a lot of the time, it don't even be your fault, not even an issue. That you could be in a car accident, you can be walking down the street, somebody hit you, fall off a bike. You can walk down the stairs. Everything here, the floors are slick. You can be walking through Walmart, and because of the tile floors, it might have rained, and you could just slip. And they don't have those tort lawsuits here where you fall and break your leg, you're going to get $1 million out of Walmart. Out here, it ain't happening. You fall in the hole. I was watching some video clips online, and the trash man, it was just a big old sewage drain hole in the middle of the street. He got off the truck, walked to go grab some trash, and just dropped down the damn sewage hole and injured himself. A girl came right behind him a couple of days later, riding her bike, at night, fell in the hole. And you know what I mean? So stuff happened, and you need that insurance, man. So I don't want to harp on that too much, but I'll share my experiences here. Seems like we stay in this damn hospital, man. It's I made it official. My diet, eating ways have changed. I'm going more plant-based now. I'll stay that route. I was successfully able to do that for a couple of years, and with ease. And this keto regimen has been very challenging. To stay the course long term. But when you've been as sick as I've been in the last few days, when I got up out that bed yesterday, I was like, I need to give my body a fighting chance. And I'm 50 years old, over 50. I'm like, nah, I need the power. So, listen, you got to, insurance is just going to save your butt. And it's affordable. So through the Affordable Health Care Act, they got all these credits they can give you. And we are on that Blue Cross Blue Shield. I switched our policies to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm only paying $8 a month for the three oldest of the three of us, me, Kim, and Sky. Haley just turned 18. I'm gonna see if I can flip her over to the policy, because normally in Georgia had their own little separate state plans, and they put them on that by default. The Peach Care, the Peach Plan, Georgia Access Plan, whatever they call it. And so they're not on the big name. When you get this insurance, you want to be on the big names like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, because the hospitals here recognize those big names. The other big names may not be big as those three, and you might have to come out of pocket and then get your money back through from the insurance company. But these big three, they start paying once the hospital file a claim. They say, hey, we got your patient here. Is this going to be good? And the hospital, the insurance, and say it's a go. Then I don't have to pay no more to the hospital for treatment. They start hitting the hospital tab. I don't have to come out of pocket. Otherwise, you'll be paying every day. So, man, I was sick. I just got over the flu a couple of weeks ago, and then I was out and got sick, caught somebody else's cold, and turned out to be a bad cold. It didn't go away, man. I thought I was good. Went to the urgent care, and she did my assessment. I was like, man, I don't feel good. I feel sick, and I feel it coming. And I was like, let me go to the doctor so I can head this off, because they feel like it's gonna be bad. And particularly after I just coming off of the pneumonia. So I had pneumonia a couple of weeks ago, cleared that up. So after coming out of that, coming out with a new thing, I was like, man, I'm gonna get in front of this thing and let these jokers get on this medicine right quick. And I don't want to be down like I was. And so, but they gave me, she's like, okay, this is the issue. You know, opened my mouth, saw some stuff on my tonsils in the back of my throat. She was like, that's the issue. You eat this medicine, it should knock it out in a few days. Here's some stuff for congestion and blah, blah, blah. So 3 days later, I'm feeling bad. I'm like, man, I should be getting better. I'm thinking, I done got here earlier, this thing should be better. So 3 days later, I'm like, man, let me go to the emergency room. I'm up here shaking and shivering and hadn't ate in 2-3 days. Go up in there. I'm giving them the symptoms, the new symptoms now. You know, they looking down the throat. They like, okay, look like that other issue cleared up. And they like, well, you got some milk going on. And so they asked me a million questions, checked my temperature. Now, of course, I got a fever. I've been having a fever every day. And now they want to do some blood work. Now at this point they convinced I done had COVID. And so they ran some tests, they had some chest x-rays come in. They like, okay, we see some, in your chest, we see some, I forget the word they used, the term. What was that term? Nothing serious, but they were just saying they assumed it might have been because of the current situation, or could be residuals from the pneumonia. And so, but you know, my pulsometer, my O2 levels in my blood was pretty good. It was like 98. So they were like, so they weren't concerned about that. They had me do some breathing. So the test results come back from the lab. They're like, no, it ain't COVID. It ain't SARS. It's not flu 1, it's not flu 2. I'm like, what about that old virus over there hanging over there in China right now, in India? They're like, no, that ain't it either. And so I'm like, so what is it? We don't know. We're gonna give you some more medicine, take this medicine home and try this medicine, and if you don't feel no better, come back. I was like, these jokers, man. And so, and I was at Farrell Hospital. And listen, I might have to make another video about this. The hospitals here, you almost gotta take this stuff in your own hand. Because when I went there, staff, a bunch of young folk, you know, when I'm walking, every time I go in there, it's like, man, these folks in here so young, man, they ain't been around. They ain't been a doctor long enough to know anything. They ain't seen nothing. They don't got no experience. That's my interpretation of it. I'm like, too young, ain't been in the field long enough. I've been in the Air Force, and I have a very extensive medical background from when I was in the Air Force. I was a medic, aero medivac. So I was trained essentially with advanced life support, ACLS certified. In the military, we have a little bit more flexibility on protocol and how far we can go. So in my case, because of the certifications and the trainings, we were able to push medicines out in the field, in the air, all of that. So my background is extensive. And I was doing that for about 4 years in the military. When I got out that military, I went to surgical tech school, worked in the operating room, assisted with trauma surgeries, cesareans, C-sections, neurosurgery, heart surgery, all types of surgeries. So people coming in getting shot up and opening them up and blood blasting there, all of that, assisting with emergency C-sections. So my experience in medicine is very, very, very intense. And so when I go to these hospitals, I can generally call some things out, and so, and this is not my first rodeo at Faro, when I had to have my emergency surgery on my thyroid. They had to remove it. I had to go back to the hospital 5 times, and I went to that emergency room like 4 or 5 times, and because I couldn't breathe. They telling me I'm having panic attacks, and I'm like, I can't breathe. And those first 3 or 4 visits, not once did they order a chest X-ray, and I was too out of it to catch it at the time. But by my 5th visit, when I went back, they were trying to dismiss me out the hospital. I'm like, man, why don't y'all joke and run no X-ray? Because in the States, you go in them States, you go in there talking about your foot hurt. In the emergency room, they ordering a chest X-ray. You know what I mean? They get a chest X-ray for everything, anything. Because they want to cover them bases. They ain't coming back for no lawsuit. And so on my last visit, I'm like, man, why don't you joke with just order I'm like, how much does it cost? It was like 500 pesos, $25. Why don't y'all just order a chest X-ray and see if there's anything going on? And it was like a light bulb went on in their head, and it was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's order a chest X-ray. You want us to order your chest X-ray? Then they ordered the chest X-ray. Next thing now they running, all of them running back to my room, talking about I got this big massive mass on my chest. Now at this point I'm scared. You have this mass on your chest, and it's so big, it's done shifted your airway all the way over onto the other side, over your chest, over your lung. I'm like, and they're like, that's why you can't breathe, and it's also closed up the space in the airway. That's why you be gasping for air sometimes. And now they sit up there and like they geniuses, like they don't figure something out. And I'm like, man, y'all had 5 times to figure it out. I figured it out by telling y'all to do something that was so basic. Anytime somebody come in there with a breathing problem, the first thing you should do is should be doing a chest X-ray at a minimum. You know what I mean? So you can have the greatest facilities, and they have the greatest facilities. But doggone it, well, you got to have the right folks who know how to use the facilities and use the equipment and make diagnosis and stuff like that. Without that, the facility ain't worth a thing. So now the surgeons now here's the thing. Once you get diagnosed, now they have all the doctors there that specialize in those special fields and specialties. Now they know what they do. The issue is getting a damn diagnosis, getting things figured out right before you get sick and die. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to be your own doggone doctor around here. And I know my story went off the track. So I'm like, okay, so the surgery was excellent. The surgery team, anesthesiologist, the surgeon that did my thyroidectomy, the guy who came and gave me my medicines to replace my hormones because of the removal of my thyroid, and excellent. And the quality of care while I was in the hospital, excellent. No qualms about that. My qualms is, man, if you get sick all of a sudden, is there a place that you can confidently go and make sure the people that are going to check you over are going to make sure they get the right diagnosis? So, first place said it was one thing, which it looked like it might have been part of the thing. Then I went to the second place. The emergency room, they said, oh, it looked like whatever you had before cleared up, but now this is something else. But we're going to run all these tests and we don't know what it is, but we're going to send you home. Normally, when you leave the hospital, they give you a little sheet of paper with the diagnosis, and then they tell you what to do. They ain't give me none of that. They ain't give me nothing. They just like, here's your medicine, take this medicine. So I went to sleep, woke up the next day. I was like, boy, at that point I'm praying. I'm like, it might be it. And it's sad because a few weeks earlier I thought I already had it. It was a coming to Jesus moment. I'm like, man, two of these moments back to back. I'm like, boy, kid looking all nervous. Daddy don't ever go to the hospital. This joker done went 3 times in the week. And so they like, it must be real bad for him to go. And so, and I had just went to the dentist the week before. And so now I'm dealing with a bad toothache on top of that. That just making it even worse. And I'm like, God, take me away today. I'm like, if I got to live like this, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? That's how sick I was. Damn near 4-5 days. So, get up, go back to the doctor. And I say, this time, I say, no. We ain't going to no hospitals. I ain't going to no urgent care centers. I like, we're going to go to one of these pharmacy doctors. And I want to find an old dude, not no 15-year-old looking teenager, teeny bopper, whatever you call them. Cause they be looking like they 15 with lab coats on, talking about they doctors. And so I went up and so we went to about 4 or 5 pharmacies. Half of them were closed. Then the last, the next few, we went too young. Then we found one. Haley went in there. She checked to see if the complaint was open. She like threw a thumbs up out the window. She's like, well, I'm getting out the car. She like, yeah, we got one, daddy. So I walked up in there. I was like, oh, hell yeah, this old school doc right here. This is what I'm looking for. Old school. He was probably about 65. So I brought all my labs with me from the hospital. Explained to him what the first doctor said I had. He looking at my throat. He like, okay, all right. And he looking at the labs. And he like, man, you got a serious infection going on. He like, they didn't tell you this? Like, man, no, they told me nothing. Told me they don't know what it is. All they saw was the part where it wasn't COVID, it wasn't SARS, it wasn't flu 1, it wasn't flu 2. I guess they just ignored the labs. So he breaking down the lab, explaining to me what this is and what that is, and I got this serious infection and blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling him my neck is so stiff, I'm thinking I have meningitis and whatnot. So he get me up on the bed, get my neck, flashing lights, twisting my head, grabbing my stomach, flipping me over, rubbing. I mean, it's been rough. And I was like, yeah, that's what I need right here. This brother know exactly what he's doing. So he like, no, you don't got meningitis. He's like, but based on what your lab has said, I think you got this type of infection, and I'm gonna give you this medicine. I'm gonna give you these 3 prescriptions. He looked at the note that they gave me, the prescriptions they gave me from the hospital ER. He was like, scrap all that. Just stop taking that. Don't take another thing that they wrote. And I'm gonna give you, take these are the new prescriptions. So go at the pharmacy doc. He wrote the 3 prescriptions up. Haley went next door to get the medicine. She came back. He had the vials, had the syringes, and he said, "You're gonna feel better in a few hours." He drew the medicine up, gave me the shot, boom, boom, and he was like, "If for some reason you're not feeling better, in another day or 2, come back and I'm gonna order some more labs." I don't think we need to order any more labs. We got enough right here for me to get an idea of what the picture is. I don't think we will need that, but man, it was about 3 hours later. For the first time I'm able to sit up. You know what I mean? My neck stopped hurting, and I was able to sit up, watch some television. I was laughing a little bit. And the next morning, me and Kim arguing about Mexico. Mexico versus the United States. She talking about the States is better. I'm like, Mexico better. You know what I'm saying? So we arguing about that, and she's like, yeah, you must be better because you want to go back and forth. And you got to take your care in your own hand, man, because don't take these folks at their word. So what I figured out now, well, nothing new that I figured out. When you get here, man, find yourself a good primary care doctor who knows what he's doing, and you might want to start shopping around early. So you could have 1 or 2 that you can call on when you need to be checked and seen immediately. One who's competent, know what's going on, can order proper lab and proper tests. Because when I went to the hospital, now the bill wasn't bad. So the hospital bill was only $189 for the labs and the x-rays, $189. Now, had I gone to a pharmacy doc and got that, and it's not about keeping costs low. My rationale was if I go to the hospital, they can order whatever they need on the spot. It saves time, I pay more money, I'm there, I get everything I need without going to a pharmacy doc, and he has to write me up some labs to go, and I gotta go to the lab and get it done, and then go back with the results. I was like, I just rather do that at the hospital and pay the difference. No, not realizing that them jokers at the hospital, I'm better off going to the doc, get the labs, and I probably would only spend about $65, if that. Let's say 75 on the high side versus 189. And probably would have had somebody who knew, folk knew what was going on. So that's my formula now. I'm going to the unless I can't breathe. Don't take me to that emergency room no more. Find me a pharmacy doc and get them a good one, or have your primary care doctor that you got and know, and let them do whatever need to be done. They're gonna be cheaper outside that hospital, and let them get you straight. Now this is if you really, really sick. You know what I mean? So the doctor that we saw at the pharmacy, I was like, dude, you got a card? You see patients? Like, yeah, well, yes I do. Reached in the drawer, grabbed this card, handed me his card, and said, hey, happy to treat your family for anything. And so I was like, okay, that's my doctor. I ain't fooling around with these other doctors. So I might go find me one more just in case he gone or busy. And the last doctor I used to put out there, man, he a great doctor, but he's so busy now. Very, very busy, very busy. Stay busy. So I need somebody to be able to call and say, hey, come in an hour, or I can see you in an hour, et cetera, et cetera. I can't be waiting around when I'm sick like that. But find you a good doctor, have one on the books. Don't wait till every don't wait until this is an emergency or life threatening. You start feeling sick, call your doctor. Let them, the cost to get blood work done, lab done, X-rays. They can send folks to your house to do ultrasounds, everything. They send people to your house to do COVID testing. They test for the flu. They test for everything. Get your blood glucose levels checked because you don't have a glucose meter. They'll do all of that. Anything you need done, they will do. So get you a doctor as soon as you can, so you at least be able to have one or two people you can call on for emergencies. And many times, some of these doctors will make house calls. So it's important to know whether or not your doctor did make house calls. But man, I'm feeling better already. So this was Saturday that I went to the final doctor, and I'm alive. I'm out here walking around, talking, laughing now. This is Monday, so from that Saturday night, we left Saturday night. Sunday, almost back 50, 70%. Monday, which is the day, I went to the store. I'm not contagious anymore. Went to the store, walked around, and bought some fruits and vegetables and all sorts of stuff. And hey, back on full recovery, man. Get your insurance because things could go south real quick, and you want to be in a position where you can be able to use health insurance. So I think I forgot to talk about this, but with my healthcare, because of the healthcare plan, I think we only we pay like $8 a month for the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm a business owner, so we get tax deductions and all that. But even making over, showing the income, let's say showing your income over $50,000, because I was playing my numbers. I was like, okay, what will my health benefit be if I'm earning 50,000, 60,000, 70,000? And my monthly payments, man, it was pretty much the same, range from eight to about $30. It ranged. So all three of us, because of the credit that they give you, I'm only paying $8 a month. Now, their health care coverage is good. I have a $200 deductible. I can't remember what my copay is, but it's nothing ridiculous. Emergency room visit, I pay a $200 copay. Free virtual care, like if I need to do counseling or whatever, or meet a nurse online virtually, I can meet a nurse online virtually, and that doesn't cost me anything. So if I'm not feeling well, I can still connect to my U.S. doctor to get whatever. She can write me a prescription, and most of the time you don't need a prescription. And that brings me to my next question. If I'm feeling really bad and I can go online and do a virtual thing, and they can check me over, and they're like, okay, you need to get to the hospital and have them order you. That's another backup option to have for medical advice. If you're not getting good advice here, hey doc, I'm taking this, I'm taking that, I'm still feeling worse. They're like, no, you need to go back. So I'm not paying. $8 is nothing. Now, again, this is only good in an extreme emergency if I'm admitted into the hospital, which is what I want that insurance for, because health insurance in Mexico can be expensive. And, and I got some contacts and everything for those that are here or are moving here and need to get quotes for getting local health insurance. But everything else we pay out of pocket because it's affordable. So just wanted to share that. You got about a day and a half to get this done. Get on the health what's the name of the website? Go to healthcare.gov.com. No, sorry, not .com. Healthcare.gov. HEALTH, the word health, care, CARE.gov. That's .gov. And it's showing on the website. Open enrollment ends January 15th. So get to the health insurance marketplace and apply for the insurance so you can have something at the backup. And remember, try and qualify. You know, you can, when you get into the health exchange, you can choose. And I was scanning. I spent a few hours going to do my application. Georgia, I get opted out, and we have our own portal that's still connected to the healthcare.gov, and they can help you. People, there's folks on the phone 24 hours a day that'll help you sign up and get the application to push it through. So get signed up, get some insurance so that you can have for emergencies. Like I say, because anything can happen, anything. So all is well. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Robert. They've been calling, checking in on me, and making sure I was good. And so thank y'all. Appreciate it. And yeah, so y'all and Diana, y'all do y'all thing, man. I'm gonna go. I started watching this show called Your Honor. I got hooked on that, so I'm about to go watch a couple of episodes and then retire for the night. Need help? Book a consultation. Need anything? MoveAbroadandThrive.com. Make sure you join our VIP. There's a section in there called Ask Cartes. In that group, you can ask me questions. I'll respond within 48 hours, whatever questions you have. I have access to attorneys. We have any legal questions regarding real estate or health or immigration, you can post them in the group, and my attorney on standby will give me an answer to your questions. So it's part of the membership, and so, but you have to be a member to use it. So access it. MoveAbroadandThrive.com/VIP. And hey, see y'all on the other side.